Hello everybody, my name is Titanomic and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to be doing a tutorial on how to draw the Pillsbury Doughboy, and I'm just going to go right into it. The items I'm going to be using today to draw is going to be my iPad and then my Apple Pen. Don't ask me what gen because I honestly don't remember. Then I'm also going to use Clip Studio Paint. These are the settings that I'm going to be using for the canvas. So I have my little reference picture up in the top left corner, and I'm going to go ahead and just get started on a rough sketch. Remember, this is a rough sketch, so you don't have to be perfect. It's just putting down your ideas onto the paper or the digital canvas. When I do sketches, I often use red or blue. That way when I draw on a different layer, it's easy for me to trace over, which I'll show you here in a second. So I'm also going to do a lasso tool and make the image bigger because I just felt like it was too small on the canvas. So this is what I was talking about before, where I like to use the red or blue for the sketch. When I go over and I do the actual line work, it's easier to follow. Now, for a picture like this, I really wanted to emphasize the eyes. I believe that the eyes capture the true emotion of a character, and for this character, I wanted him to have these big, beautiful blue eyes. And I did go ahead and use a crop tool here and just mirrored it, just because I just really did not want to draw the other eye. I'm very lazy and I'm always on a time crunch. I'm going to go in with the nose and the cheeks and just add some details. He's not perfectly smooth like his brother. For copyright reasons, this is not the Pillsbury Doughboy. This is the Pillsbury Doughroy. I'm going to go in with his body, just making sure to include other details like grime, muck, and hair, because this is a piece of dough that has been dropped several times on the floor, hides under cabinets, and collects dust and hair and all sorts of disgusting, unholy things. Next, I'm going to go in and draw his figure, his luscious curves, and his little arms because he loves to eat meat. And I'm going to be drawing him with his favorite snack, which are intestines. Those are his favorite snack. He likes to use them to make sausages, which is another favorite snack of his. So we're going to go ahead and draw his little meat dish here, him just wringing out the old innards. I'm not going to be spending too much time on the background. I didn't really want to go all out. I just wanted to draw the characters, so I'm just going to be doing some details on the ground or the floor where he's sitting, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just do like a colored background. I'm not really going to add any detail in that. I am not good at all with coloring or with rendering, so you're going to have to take my advice very lightly. I do not color, that's why I make manga. It's always black and white with shading. I don't understand color theory, so I'll just explain the best that I can to what I do. So I go in with a different layer of just a solid color, and then I do this with like every part. And then I usually put depending on what I'm coloring, like the eyes here are on a different layer than the body. And then at the end, I'll merge all the layers together so they're all one layer. Now again, I'm going in and making his beautiful big blue eyes. But usually what I do is I use a watercolor paintbrush and I'll just kind of layer everything, kind of smooth it out, but not, I don't like to have everything too smooth because I'm not doing like a realistic picture. Usually with everything blended and smooth, you would tend to do with something that's more realistic. This, I like the splotchy paints, the messy, because he's a messy, dirty boy. He's a messy little guy. So I really wanted to do the splotch paint and kind of show that he's just a dirty, disgusting piece of dough that was found under the shelf. That's why when you bake, you have to make sure you clean everything, or you might have something like this hiding in your cupboards.
Not too sure if you want it in your cupboard.
Anyways, I'm adding some more little fine details like some dirt and grime because.
He's living in the cupboards, and you don't want him to live in the cupboards.
And then I'm going to go ahead and add some details to his little hat and his little handkerchief. And then I am going to render that as well. Again, I don't want too much detail because it's not supposed to look realistic. I still want the cartoony aspect of this drawing. But if you wanted to make him realistic, you totally can. I would love to see, if you decide to follow this art tutorial and you want to draw him as realistic as possible, please tag me in it because I would love to see the realistic version of this guy. Then I'm just going to start working on the background and cleaning up the picture. erasing some bits of color is on the outside of the picture. Cleaning up everything is making sure that your art is cleaned up is pretty important. It just makes it look a lot better.
So I went with a red background. I feel like the contrast with his colors and everything kind of clash well with the red. So after I'm done with the background, that's all I will be doing. I'm going to go in and start coloring the meat part. Now I don't want the meat to really look red, because then you'll lose the contrast with the background and it would be kind of hard to look at because it will just blend in with the background and it just won't look right. So I'm going to stick with like a dark, I'm gonna stick with the pinks and make it kind of dark and muddy and dirty because it's a fresh batch of meat.
But there you go. There's the Pillsbury Doughroy. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to check out some of my series, my website at titanatomicmanga.com tells you what series I have available, where to read them, and then I also have a Patreon as well, where I've been uploading my current series Oddities, and then I have some all of my stories that I have uncensored are on there as well. Thank you so much. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.